Hello and welcome to the Galblade News. Dan Williams says he and his guide dog Zodiac have been refused rides by taxi drivers more than 100 times. The 28-year-old businessman from Cardiff, who's blind, claims Uber drivers have left him standing when they see his dog. He says it is horrible discrimination and plans to mount a legal challenge against the firm. Uber said it is totally unacceptable for drivers to refuse to take a guide dog, and we investigate every report. Mr. Williams and other taxi passengers' experiences are due to be highlighted on the BBC programme Riff of Britain on Tuesday. He says he has taken to speaking to drivers when booking a cab so they know he has the black Labrador retriever travelling with him. However, he says he often has to try several before he finds a driver who will take him and his dog. Sometimes cabbies drive off when they see his dog, while others tell him they are allergic to dog hair and refuse to carry the pair. Mr. Williams has retinitis pigmentosa, which causes gradual deterioration in sight. He has been unable to see when drivers leave him standing, and he says he has a copy of the unfulfilled bookings recorded in his Uber account. It makes you feel like a second-class citizen, he says. It shouldn't be happening in the 21st century. He likes Uber's app because it's he can book and pay for a taxi in one go when he is travelling around the UK. His firm helps companies to be more inclusive and accessible to people with a visual impairment. Mr. Williams has now taken to trying to book a taxi about an hour before he needs it due to the problems he encounters. I've been late a number of times, he says. He believes drivers turn him away because they are concerned about getting dog hair in their vehicles, although some may have a genuine allergy. The Royal National Institute of Blind People has published its own guidance about how people can challenge discrimination by taxi drives via a local authority. Mr. Williams and his lawyer Chris Fry told BBC Radio 4 programme In Touch they were taking legal action against Uber under the Equality Act because the issue was happening frequently, but they are awaiting a Supreme Court decision following a separate legal hearing that will decide whether Uber drivers are employees, as it will affect how their case will proceed. Uber told In Touch it is totally unacceptable for drivers to refuse to take a guide dog, and we investigate every report. Licensed private hire drivers must carry service animals in their vehicle. We highlight this obligation to all drivers before they start using the Uber app, and often send reminders. Any driver who's found to have refused to take a service animal will permanently lose access to the app. So what do you think about this situation? Obviously, at the moment, they're not able to do anything, and I'll explain to you why. The reason is because with this whole court, they need to find out whether people who work for Uber are employees or whether they are kind of their own workers. There is a term for it, I can't remember it as of now, but where they're kind of like zero-hour workers or just basically contract workers. If they're in that category, then the individuals themselves will be sued, and any compensation given to the man. If they're considered employees of Uber, then it will be Uber who is taken to court rather than the individual drivers. That's kind of the reason behind it. I do understand why lots of the people with any sort of vision problems are very scared and very concerned, because actually they've got their freedom with their dogs, their guide dogs, but actually that is taken away from them when they're not able to access various services, including taxis. Whatever you think, leave your comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.